Hello, I am Test Drive and welcome to episode 6 of Forza Motorsport 2. We're in this episode, we are in the Sprinter Truno that we just won, and I've already bought one upgrade for it. We're going to do something interesting. So, the one upgrade that I bought, without really thinking, I didn't really think about it, was this weight reduction. Which puts the car at 1,965 pounds, even though I didn't really need to do that one specifically. But there's a race series for cars under 2,055 pounds. The only problem is that it's against B-class cars. So I'm going to basically upgrade this car as much as I can. So we're going to do an engine swap for the first time. And we're going to do sport tire compound. I'm just going to get the basic ones. And we'll do brakes, I guess. I could literally sell one of my prize cars to get that. The stream isn't that long. It's only been 2 hours. I've streamed for 8+ hours at a time before. This is nothing. So we're gonna get better brakes, and I'm gonna use this car to race against Lotus Elises and Vauxhall VX220 turbos and things. So hopefully this will go well. What I'm trying to do is oh, I put the engine in it. It was too heavy. Oh no. I goofed. Uptime right now is 2 hours and 7 minutes. I don't have a nightbot or anything. But I goofed, by the way. How much? Shit. Oh no, I need 100 credits. What can I sell? What am I not going to use? I vote out. Oh, I can use all these cars, though. I vote out the Camaro. We're going to sell the Camaro for 100 credits. I'm not going to sell the Peugeot because I need to use it to make a thumbnail. So, I'm going to sell the Camaro. I can buy another classic American car in the future. Even that one is not expensive. So we can hopefully buy this upgrade. I really hope the game doesn't say hey, this car weighs 2,055.5 pounds. You can't get in. It better work. Oh my God, are you kidding me? I'm really sad right now, by the way. That is... I didn't realize that the engine swap would add so much fucking weight. Alright, what I'm gonna do... How much can I sell this for? 150... How much is the... Because the brakes don't do anything. 300... How much can I sell this for? 1150. I think we're about to go with stock tires. Oh God, this is not gonna work. This car is gonna be undrivable if I do that. Well, fuck, I don't know what to do. So I can sell the brakes. I can't believe I'm in this situation. I don't know what to do. Because if I sell things, it only sells for half the price. You know what? Fuck it. I don't care. I'm selling the Peugeot. I can figure out a thumbnail for it later. So we're going to sell that for $5,450. I'm going to figure this out, okay? I didn't need to get rid of the Camaro, which is kind of disappointing. But whatever. I don't really care about the Camaro. I don't really want to use it anyways. So now I can make this car actually light enough. Sure, I'll do a flywheel. Oh well. I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't think about the engine swap adding weight, but whatever. Alright, now we're finally eligible. I guess it does say weighs less than 2,055 pounds. Whatever. We'll just do these races, and we'll figure out whatever later on. The arcade garage includes cars unlocked in exhibition and time trials. It put me behind an Elise. A C-class Elise. What the hell? I thought it did it by class. That's weird. Anyways, there's our lineup. I'm fucking terrified of how this is going to go. This car should be moderately okay, though, because I did put good tires on it. It doesn't have a stupid amount of power. Oh, it does want to get slippery, though. It is a drift car still. Come here, Exige. Little bastard. I don't know how my... Well, actually, my car isn't higher PI than your car, is it? Well, I can catch him here, I think. Because they usually slow down pretty good right here. And I usually take a stupid route through here. So, yeah. Goodbye, horses. Goodbye. Okay, never mind. I guess. We just did like a loop-de-loop. Alright, I'm passing. Okay. I wonder how many times out of, you know, everybody who's played this game, I wonder how many times this car has actually been used for this purpose. I would assume at least some, because it is a viable car. In Utah? I'm in Missouri. I just got really distracted. But yeah, I can see it being used at least some, because it's a fairly viable car, because it's one of the lightest cars you unlock early on in the game. But I'm actually curious of just like how many people were like, hey, instead of buying like an Elise or something, why not use the A86? I don't know. I don't really have any way to check to see how many people have done that. Ah! Oh no, sticky grass. Sticky keys. Ah, fuck. Well, now I have to catch the Exige again. Big good, yes. I am big good at driving. Go. I think that I almost even have more horsepower than him. Although my car is like at the very top of the weight limit, so... I don't know. Oh, look at that drift. Knock out all the cones. I've driven BMWs with V8 engines in real life. Ah, Exige, I need to pass you. Even though I don't really need to pass you yet, necessarily. I do want to pass you now. I say I did a fairly good job with building this car. For what it is, and for the money I had. If I would have, of course, paid attention, like I said, to the engine swap adding weight, it would have went better. Or at least slightly differently. I would have done something that would have reduced more weight. But yeah. Oh. Apparently, Exige Boy is like, hey, fuckface, stop just drifting in front of me. Also, is that M. Rossi? I bet it is. I didn't even think about that. M. motherfucking Rossi is in this game. First game M. Rossi was in. Ah. Ah. This car is definitely not the best at handling. I will confirm that. It could have been better. It's probably because the suspension is still A86 suspension. Some absolute garbo. Yeah, that was a bit unexpected for sure. But whatever. Doesn't really make any difference to me. God, this car just wants to drift. Why do you have to initial D everywhere? I mean, I know you're the initial D car, but like, bruh. Just give me a little bit of grip. I just want a little. Also, I like how the fact that it says inline, or it says twin cam i6 on the back of the car, and it's like, wow, that's actually probably still right, because the, I'm pretty sure the Altezza RS200 has a inline 6 of some sort. It's not the 2JZ, it's not the same as the IS300. The Altezza has a different, it has the Lexus IS200 engine. I don't remember exactly what the IS200 engine was, but it definitely wasn't the same engine as the IS300, as you would expect from a car that's, you know, you have an IS300 and IS200, and Lexus is always one to separate their car names by engine sizes. So, anyways, 4,400 credits, decent amount of credits, almost level 10. Already did a level 1 of Affinity's Forza 4, whatever it is with this car. Yeah, it's the Altezza RS200. Well, it's a 3SG. Oh, it's a 4-cylinder. It's a 3SGE. Or 3SGT. A 3SGE or GTE? GE. I don't think it had a turbo. What's my favorite Lexus? I don't know. I have a Lexus LS400 in real life. So, that's a good contender. Beams tuned 3SGE. Okay, so what is 3SGE? Because there's a 3SGT that they used in, what, the MR2, right? I'm pretty sure that was an SW20 MR2 engine, too. Oh, God. Oh, God, I'm not paying... I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at something else. You can tell now because I have a webcam, so you can tell when I'm distracted with something on my other monitor over here. Because the game's over here. This is everything else. And then definitely, like, don't feel bad for chatting when I do something stupid like that. That's all my fault. Like, I can look at the chat in the straight. Because luckily, like, my chats never really move fast enough for me to, like, really miss anything necessarily. It wasn't a special, it wasn't a two, it wasn't the gold one. The gold ones are cool as hell. I would, they're like probably the best looking ones, the black and the gold ones. The ones I drove, actually I drove like 3 of them that were the same color scheme. They were blue and silver, I'm pretty sure. And those were, like, you know, they were, I mean, they were kind of like, I guess the higher end of the paint spectrum for the 280ZXs. But like 3 of them are that color. E2 Collector's Edition Corvette, yeah. Just try to get one that doesn't have crossfire, because I've heard the crossfire injection system is terrible and it doesn't work at all. It didn't work out of the factory hardly, because it was very early EFI and Chevy did not know what they were doing. So if you can find one, just find one with a normal 350 with a carburetor. Or you can LS swap or whatever, you know. They might have, honestly, because they were the collector's edition. So I'm sure people have converted them, though. Like, there's got to be people who have converted those cars to carbureted. Because it was like the Chrysler Imperials from the early 80s. The EFI systems just did not work. Like, sometimes they didn't work straight out of the dealer. Sometimes it took them a few months, but I don't think any of them made it much past like 20, 30,000 miles without having major issues with it on both those cars. I'd love to have like an 86 C4 Corvette. Find one with a 4+3. I mean, one of my, oh God, I'm driving terribly. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I know. I'm the same way, honestly. Like, I love all kinds of stupid, unreliable cars. I have a stupid unreliable car, even though it's not like super unreliable. It's not a Maserati bi-turbo unreliable, but it's a Chrysler plus Maserati unreliable. But I can definitely say that like with some cars, like especially like that with early EFI stuff, I would probably just swap it out with a carburetor, because carburetors aren't too big of an issue, especially on that, because you can get electric chokes and all that, and it's pretty simple and straightforward to get them to work right. But yeah, like with newer stuff, like normal EFI, like multi-port injection stuff and whatever. Obviously, I wouldn't try and screw with that. Like, I'm definitely going to be a purist with my car, my TC by Maserati. I'm going to try and get it back as factory as I possibly can. I mean, it is already pretty much factory, but I'm not going to switch anything out, because people have been like, you can make 260 horsepower or whatever just by, doing these 5 things or whatever. It's like, I don't want to do that. I'm fine with 200 horsepower. It's still got as much horsepower as a Fox body Mustang in the same year. Yeah, and good luck trying to get Crossfire to work. I've heard it's impossible. Unless you're like, a Chevy technician that's really, really well versed in Crossfire. Well, then they only used Crossfire for a few years. They used it from like 19. I don't know if they started in 82. I think it might have been 81 or 80 that they started using it in. And then they made it till like 85. And then they started using the tuned port injection engine. And then they started using the LT1 after that. Can I stop drifting, please? So I don't know. Like, you definitely have to look it up. I didn't know the Camaros came with Crossfire though. I thought all Camaros were just all the early 3rd gen Camaros were either carbureted or throttle body, like in 85, 86. Because that's a good thing that the Mustang did, was it went straight from carbureted to multi-port injection with the HO50. Ford definitely did that right, because the 50 was a great engine, and the injection system worked perfectly fine on it. And that's also the engine that can hold a stupid amount of boost from the turbo out of the factory. How long is what going to be? Like the stream or this race? Because the race is almost done. Stream will probably be... I don't know. I'll probably do like one more series after this. Oh, okay. I didn't realize it. I didn't think they did. They're even tried to put the Crossfire in the Camaros, but I honestly don't know too much about early 3rd gens. I just know they exist and they had some funky looking bumpers. Stream, yeah, probably another maybe 20 minutes. Hey, level 10. Achievement unlocked. I like how that Elise has got a better position than the VX220. Lost a few credits, whatever. Like how this car's rating is 4.3, but in reality it's like 8. Because these cars are impossible to find in factory condition anymore. There's a lot of cars, Japanese cars specifically. Like, I want to own an A86 that's perfectly stock. I want to own a Nissan S13 240SX that's perfectly stock. Same with this S14. Basically, all the cars that you find that are always modified, I love to own them stock. That's expensive. For, I mean, maybe not if it's like a super nice, like low mile car. But that just seems expensive. Like if you buy a Crossfire C4 or something for $2,000 and you put $600 just into making it run right. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, we got a 30% discount on cars from Europe, and we got a 74 Lancia Stratos, which is probably going to be helpful in the future. Because I know there's some classic things to do. So there we go. There's our 74 Lancia Stratos. Neat car. Love to drive one at some point. And I'm now eligible to race in the rivalry face-offs events. Oh my god. So let's go ahead and get on to the next race and finish this up. Finally. Okay, closing out that tab. Everything's laggy. Okay. Aftermarket performance manifolds for... Well, I don't think that... Well, I think all the Crossfire was, you know, the intake. The rest of the engine was just a normal 350, I'm pretty sure. I don't know specifically, though, because obviously, like I said, I don't really know much about those. But I thought from the little bit I did know. But I don't know. But hey, I don't know. Words. Speak them. Don't just say the same thing over again, ding-dong. Hello, Lotus. I need to push you off the road because... Oh, Rip Rossi. God, this at least, or exeges on my butthole the entire time. But I definitely feel you about the whole automotive purist thing. I'm not like 100% anal about everything being perfectly stock, but I definitely appreciate stock cars usually more than modified cars. I'm usually in the land of not caring about modified stuff. Because, like, there's actually a guy that lives, or he just moved in down the road from me, that owns 2 E86s. One like this, one's a hatchback, and the other one's a notchback coupe. And both of them, well, no, the notchback is not modified, but the hatchback is. Favorite song in Midnight Club? I don't even know the songs from Midnight Club 2. I never listened to the soundtrack. I only played it once, and that was with music off because of copyright. Yeah, that's understandable too, is taking off the emission stuff and older stuff. Like, honestly, that's one thing I'm almost tempted to do on my TC by Maserati. Because there's so many vacuum lines. And they run everywhere. Although, there's a decent amount of stuff that's actually, like, it works from that. Well, what I can do with my car, luckily, is there's like a vacuum block thing. I don't know how exactly you do it, or, you know, what exactly it does, but I think it pretty much is like one vacuum in, and then it just automatically sends vacuum to basically everything else in the car, so it doesn't run in limp mode or anything like that. Oh, that's really disappointing. That's really, really disappointing. Ah, shit. I'm doing actually terrible. But yeah, copyright is no good. That's how you get, you know, videos taken down, videos muted, your channel taken down sometimes if it's bad enough. You don't want to mess with copyright. God, so much smoke. Yeah, exactly. And honestly, if you live in a place where there's not emissions or smog tests, you can just do that stuff anyways with any car, really. Well, newer cars, of course, it doesn't really help at all to take that kind of stuff out. You don't have to worry about, like, if you want to do an engine swap or something silly like that. It doesn't really matter if you live in a place that doesn't have them. Do you have safety inspections in Tennessee? Because we have safety and emissions in the county I live in Missouri. And it's only like the counties that are around St. Louis County, and also including St. Louis County, that have it. And everywhere else in the state only has safety. I really kind of wish they'd take away emissions because I want to engine swap a Ranger that's newer than 1996. I want to put a 5.0. Like the one build I want to do is take like a 98 to 2000 Ford Ranger and basically take everything out of a Limited or Eddie Bauer Ford Explorer of the same year and put it in the Ranger, including the engine, the all-wheel drive system, the leather seats, the computer, trip computer. Just take everything and put it in the Ranger, because they never made like a fancy luxury Ranger back then. Even back in like 2010, they didn't do anything like that. They had the Edge and stuff, but they were never that specced out. No, I want to do the 5.0, because the 4.6 is a whole pain in the ass to put in. A 5.0 from an Explorer will bolt right into a Ranger frame. Well, as long as you have the right engine mounts, of course. But it's plug and play with the computer too, because it thinks it's an Explorer then, because it's basically the same thing. But yeah, just put the 5.0 in an automatic. Yeah, from a second gen Explorer. Yeah, 5.0 automatic, all-wheel drive. I wouldn't really care about the automatic because I want the trip computer, and if I were to do a manual transmission one, the shifter would go straight through where the computer needs to go, and I want the computer. So, and the automatics are known to be pretty good in those too. I've never heard many issues. Like, they do go out, but like after 250,000 miles or whatever. Favorite tuner car? I don't know. I like a lot of tuner cars. I don't care to tune them, but I like a lot of tuner cars. I like Mark III Supras. I like A86s. I like Nissan Silvia S14s. I like all kinds of things. It's hard to say a favorite too. Also, my engine's still smoking, but somehow I have one, so it doesn't matter. So, anyways, my best lap was worse than M. Rossi's best lap. Nice. Lost some money, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I got to level 2 for the car. Got 10% discount on transmission and driveline upgrades by TRD. Hell yeah. On the low end, like slant sixes. I'd love to have a car with a slant six. I've driven a few, I think, or at least one. It was a Dodge Dart, the ugliest generation of Dodge Dart, like the 1962s. Oh, it's ugly. But yeah, we got 4,500 credits. So I get win money, you get win car. Are you talking about like 60s? Or like newer cars? Because the newer cars don't have inline sixes. And the inline sixes I'm thinking of in muscle cars aren't fast. But yeah, we got a fancy NSX. Okay, yeah. No, it should be 67 to 79. So we got a Dulac NSX. And we luckily won this. So I now have this unlocked. But now the question is, can I actually figure out how I can do all these without doing any more races outside of this whole thing? But I'll figure that out in a future episode. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.